Hello everyone and welcome to Executive Education with this guy, Stuart Teicher. I'm coming to you live from my webinar seat. We all have webinar seats now, don't we? I'm one of those guys who's an extrovert and I am just itching to get out of my house. I can't take it anymore. My wife, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. She's an introvert and she feels pretty comfortable with this solitary thing. But the reality is, whether you like going out, whether you don't like going out, eventually we're all gonna have to start seeing each other again. I'm sorry. And that means we're going to end up going back to networking at conferences. For introverts, this could be a problem. So today in our executive education, we're going to tackle some ideas for introverts, specifically when we go out and network at conferences. You're going to have interactions with other people. You got to introduce yourself and then get a little bit of a conversation going. My wife tells me that that is agonizing. I know. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you how to make it mindless, mechanical, and manageable. That's what it's all about. Make it mindless, mechanical, and manageable. The 3 M's. Now you're thinking, great, Teicher, that's nice, but I still hate networking. Let's tackle mindless and mechanical. The less you have to think, the easier it's going to be to execute. That's why I say make it mindless and mechanical. In order to do that, you want to develop a couple of tools ahead of time. Practice them so many times that they simply become second nature. So here are 3 tools to get you kickstarted in that regard. There's going to be a first level of conversation, a second level of conversation, and a third level of conversation. 3 tools, 3 levels of conversation. The first tool is remember your name. It's that simple. Remember your name and a little bit of an identifier. I'm Stuart Teicher, I'm a patent attorney. I'm Stuart Teicher, I do landlord-tenant law. I'm Stuart Teicher, I'm a CLE speaker. Just your name and a little bit of an identifier. The next thing you do is develop your elevator pitch. But develop your elevator pitch and memorize it. Make it second nature to you. It's got to be mindless and mechanical. You got to be able to spit it out without even thinking. That's the key. You don't want to get all caught up in your head. Who are you? What makes you unique? Spend the time working on this, develop your elevator pitch, and then after you give your name and they respond, you can immediately go into spitting that out. That's the key. You gotta be able to get it out instinctively without even thinking about what you're saying. That takes practice at home, but that preparation is worth it because that's what creates the mindless and mechanical nature of it all. Remember where you are. You gave your names. You told them who you are in your elevator pitch, and now there's some conversation that's got to happen. But what do you say to get that going? Identify 2 specific things that you have to offer. You do international trade. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time wrestling with tariff engineering issues. Maybe you've got a really good grasp on matters that deal with inheritance taxes. 2 specific things that you're good at. 2 specific things that you have to offer. If you think of them ahead of time, then what you're doing is eliminating the anxiety of having to come up with something interesting to talk about. That's what your third level of conversation is going to be about. You thought about it already. You already got it in your hip pocket. Once those 2 items are out there, the conversation will flow. Identify those 2 things that make you unique, those 2 special things that you have to offer, and then memorize them. It's got to be mindless and mechanical. That way, when it comes time to insert them in the conversation, it'll be easier. That's how you make the whole effort manageable. If it's mindless, if it's mechanical, then the entire effort will be manageable. Memorize your name with a little bit of an identifier, memorize your elevator pitch, and then memorize 2 special things that you offer. By memorizing those items and spitting them out easily, you're making the entire effort mindless and mechanical. And then networking will be much easier. Oh, and by the way, I know you're still going to hate it. Okay, we're all done. Now go make some money.